What's up, fight fans? Welcome to my channel. This is Johnny. In today's video, I'm going to sit down with Jackson John England. Guys, he's one of Australia's top fighters at 130 pounds. It's not every day I get to sit down and chat with a fighter who is hours away from his fight night. This event goes down in Penrith, New South Wales. It's about an hour north of Sydney proper, and he is the co-main event on the Tyson Pedro fight card. Jackson England has shared the ring with some of Australia's best fighters and the world's best fighters. He does have a win over former world champion Jamel Herring, and he lost a very close decision to Liam Wilson. Wilson's the guy who was only a few seconds away from defeating Emmanuel Navarrete and becoming a world champion himself. In this video, I just chat with Jackson. We talk about the psychology of a fighter's mindset on fight night, as well as what a fighter goes through when their opponents pull out of fights, last second replacements, and how to mentally navigate through those waters. So without further ado, here's Jackson. Watch the weigh-ins last night, coming in looking lean and fit as always. Look, it's not every day that I get to sit down with a fighter who's hours away from their fight, so I wanted to start there, a little bit about what's going through your head right now and how the prep went.
Yeah, prep went really, really good. Like, I'm just really grateful to be, fighting and to be on this promotion and to be in my hometown in Penrith, to be able to fight in front of family and friends and be here. And I'm just nothing but excited.
I know your original opponent, I don't know what happened. He dropped out and this is a new opponent. Is that correct?
Yeah, so there's been 3 different opponents. So this is the 3rd opponent now. The first one, I'm not too sure what happened. The second one pulled out. I'm not too sure. We're fighting who we're fighting now. And again, very grateful just for the opportunity. And whoever they put in front of me, I'm here to fight. And he's coming to fight as well. He's a good, tough veteran. He's coming for his best. And that's what we expect. We expect the best from everybody. And I respect everybody.
Yeah, your opponent, he has over 50 pro fights. If I put the weigh-in on the front end of this video so people could see your reaction after you made weight, you were very grateful. You shook his hand.
Penrith boy, now living out in Western Australia, but he is a Penrith boy looking to put on a show in front of his home fans. Okay, 58.65 for Jackson John England, 58.65, well done.
And it's something that happened last week on one of the big Riyadh season cards. Last second opponent, I was covering the fight, the Shakur Stevenson. He was supposed to fight Floyd Schofield, Josh Padley on a day. And I started telling the people on the channel about how psychologically, from a fighter's perspective, from Shakur's perspective, it isn't always as easy as just business as usual when you have an opponent change. So maybe talk about that. What's the contrast of having your original opponent and then guys pull out? How do you handle that?
Well, I've had it happen a lot in my career, early on, and then even with races like this, and then even middle part of my career. There's been times where we've been planning for someone, and there is, regardless of how good you are, you always got to have set plans and things that you work on for your opponent because they're doing the same thing for you. So having the change up of opponents makes it a little difficult, but at the same time, when you're ticking the boxes and doing the right things to be able to come out on top, and to prepare for anybody, because you got to have plan A all the way to Z. You can't just work on what you think you're working on. So I think we do that really well. So whatever he's coming tonight for the fight and whatever he brings, we've got plan A to Z on what we can do to work and counter what he may bring to the fight as well.
And then keeping it on the psychology of the mindset of the fighter, you fought former world champion Herrig. You fought Liam Wilson, another Aussie fighter who was a couple seconds away from becoming a world champion against Navarrete. And the ups and downs of a fighter like yourself, 27 years old, working their way towards big fights and world title fights, how do you handle even if it's not in your control of who you're fighting, where you're fighting, when you're fighting? Is it just always business as usual, or does that affect you as well?
No, to me, it's another exciting part of it, because boxing is a very vast, constantly changing sport, and you can never have your 2 cents or have your certain certainty on specifics, again Shakur and his last minute replacement on the Sheffield fight. You never actually know until you know, so that's always up in the air. Some people get caught in a couple of days earlier, look at Parker and Piccoli, no one knows, so to have, I think you've always got to be ready for the unexpected. So I think in my mindset, knowing that, okay, look, I might be preparing for someone, and then a week out, it might be someone else. It does deter the plan and things like that. But if you've got a good team and you believe in yourself and you're honest with yourself as well. You know, you make the adjustments on the night, and you make the adjustments leading into what you're going to.
In 2023, you fought 4 times, 2024, 2 times. This is your first fight of 2025. How active do you want to be this year? Is that a goal that you write down? You want to fight X amount of times, or do you just take it as it comes?
Oh, I want as much activity as possible. There was one point in my career I had 6 fights in 1 year, and that was early on. And I think the more active, the better. Like the most important thing for a fighter is just constantly stay active. So I wanted to fight earlier on this year. I wanted to fight on the Jai Opetaia and David Nika undercard, but unfortunately I couldn't get on. So now we're looking at this one, and I'm happy to start the year off here, especially in my hometown, like where I'm from. But I'd love to fight in the next month or 2 after that, like at least 4 to 5 fights this year. Like if I'm really hoping, like I'd love to be as active as possible.